joy and life to you from God, who is good, who turns everything toward good, and whose desire it is that your life be good in every way, in what you do, what you experience, the way you live it, and in seeing and receiving and recognizing all the good blessings that you have received from your Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Sometimes God's way of bringing good out of hardship isn't what we had been wanting. The Apostle Paul discovered that even then, the situation can bear fruit in the form of unexpected blessings. He writes about this in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. To keep me from being too elated, a thorn was given me in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me, to keep me from being too elated. 3 times I appealed to the Lord about this, that it would leave me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness. So I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me. Therefore I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities for the sake of Christ. For whenever I am weak, then I am strong. This is the word of the Lord. And these are my thoughts on it. At first glance, and from his initial perspective, there is no bright side to whatever thorn it was that kept poking at Paul. We don't know if it was mental, spiritual, or physical. All we know is that it was a torment to him, that he very much wanted it to go away, and that it didn't. He was stuck with it. Not that his prayers weren't answered. We can't quite say that. They certainly weren't answered in the way he had hoped. Yet there was good. There really was good that came out of the pain and discomfort that Paul endured. He learned from it. He learned that too much strength can be problematic. It was rather in his weakness that he could best experience God's grace and power. We know the truth of that, at least in our heads. How often does the very thing that brings us to our knees end up bringing us down on our knees? We lean on God more those times we realize we don't have enough strength or fortitude to stand on our own. Doing things on our own is a value held high by our culture. We take great pride in it, but it's a value that can get in the way of our relationship with God, because it fails to recognize that God is bigger, better, stronger than we are. If the only good that surfaces from disaster and chaos is a recognition that we can't do everything or fix much of anything of any real importance on our own, well, I'd say that's a pretty awesome good. I have a quote for you by the theologian Paul Tillich from The Shaking of the Foundations, who writes, Grace strikes us when we are in great pain and restlessness. A wave of light breaks into our darkness, and it is as though a voice were saying, "You are accepted." Simply accept the fact that you are accepted. If that happens to us, we experience grace. I will leave you with this blessing. May you be blessed with such deep and strong faith that you are able to see the good that God brings out of trouble, even when your prayers are not answered in the way you hoped. God bless you in the road that you travel, now and in such time.